for it. I think the reason that I do the work that I do, working with the language, is that so we can become aware of the way that the language itself carries our culture. And I think the very fact that I was asked not to include these pieces shows something about our culture. And I wonder, okay, why it is that for so many of us who are bilingual, that we can very easily say penis and not feel shy about it, but we can't say kid. Okay? We have no other word in Farsi for kid. There is no other word. Okay, that's it. If I want to say hand, I say dast. If I want to say penis, I have to say kid. If I want to say vagina, I have to say puss. Right? There is no other word for it. So why is it that these words are considered to be not acceptable to be uttered publicly, to say in public? Do we always have to use them as swear words only? Do we always just have to use them in the privacy of our own homes? Can we not say them publicly? If I want to write a medical text and talk about vagina, what word can I use? Anybody here knows the language in Farsi, knows what kind of language, what kind of word I can use? Okay. There is no word, right? There is no other word. So why is it that these words carry such a negative implication, such a negative what? Phobia. Exactly. And the very fact that they were not allowed to be part of the exhibit, I think shows precisely that phobia. Right? Thank you.
Well, first, did you feel like you were being censored?
Of course.
And did you expect it?
No.
How did that make you feel? How did it make you feel when they asked you not to?
I'm a little. I feel it's bizarre, but I feel validated because I feel the very fact that I am being censored shows the necessity of the kind of work that I do, which is not really, this is not life-threatening to anybody, right?
And in fact, I thought there's lots of children around and things like that that might lead to censorship. But in general, I was worried that having these three pieces in particular in the exhibition would take away from the overall concept, what the other artists are doing, and would just like center it on, oh my God, did you see those words on that wall? And that would be what this exhibition would be. So there are many reasons that I consider.
Do you feel that? Do you feel that if these pieces, instead of being on people's bodies, if they were to be on the wall along with everything else, do you think they would become so important?
Can I say something? Okay, so let's say if you have this, I mean, I don't know, I came a bit late, I don't know about why the law wasn't there, but for these two other ones, so if even you put it there, this year, yeah, like I'm like, oh my God, take pictures, Facebook, everything.
Yeah.
Do you think for like next 3-4 years we just put it there, then it's gonna be like people learn, it's gonna be normal. So
That's a good point.
Until we put the taboo on it, I mean, I don't know if there is an educational thing behind
So
it.
one of the things that I talked about with Gita was that I would like to put this in an exhibition that had to do with the subject of the female body or our body in terms of art and our relationship to language. An exhibition where that was a focus, where there could be full text explaining it, there would be more detail. Maybe there was other artists dealing with the same issues of how we talk about ourselves and the words that we use. But this was not the venue for that conversation. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I really am appreciating this, and I think we're all enjoying it.
I actually really think you've taken a conservative view that similar to the organizers of this festival.
Really?
Having known most of them.
Yeah.
I do think the first one though, it's a little iffy considering that it might implicate other artists that are in this given our culture, right? So I can understand where that might raise a bit of eyebrows because you don't want to sort of endanger other people or make them feel uncomfortable some other pieces. I think they're fantastic. You should have put them up. It would have been, and like to her point, it's, you know, art's supposed to be
Progressive.
exactly, and try to sort of grow out thoughts and anything.
Yeah, great, thank you. There were a couple of comments here. And she was, yeah, yeah.
No, I was agree with if it was only your show, it would be wrong to censor you. But I think at this tier, because it's part of Tier Gun Festival and this show, it's the curator call to choose. Like she said, she chose 6 of the puzzles of 20. But it was too bad right now.
Can I ask you to wait for just 1 minute so I can respond to this? I really appreciate this conversation and thank you so much for allowing this to happen.
Great, it's necessary.
This is necessary, right? And I was hoping for it. So I understand what you're saying, but I want you to think about it this way. This is a book. The project is a book, really. It's called the Book of Illumination. But it's a book that's done differently. It's the book that's put on the wall instead of a book that you page. Okay? So if this was a book that you page through and someone were to rip a few pages out of it, would you call that censorship?
I would.
Okay, fine. Hold on. One more question. If this was a video, okay, and somebody came and said, you know, from minute 1 to 5 is good, but I want you to take out minute 6 and 7. Okay? Would you call that censorship?
Yeah, I agree with you.
Okay. So why do you think that it is okay, all right, if the project includes these pieces, which if you were to see them on the wall, you would read the whole project in a different way than you do right now without them. Why is it that it is okay to take them out? You could take the whole project out. You could say, I don't like your project, right?
You have like multiple pieces in this project that are not on the wall that you're also
No, that's really not, that's not really the case. That's not the case.
Anyhow, that's one thing.
But it's,
Like,
no,
I like the response. Yeah.
feel it.
Yeah, hold on.
The only, I hear you, but I'm an artist too.
Yeah.
Behind any exclusive because of the kids. This is a show. So if I'm parents, I decide if I want to bring my kids or not.
Yeah.
So I think any excuses come from, we don't know it. Don't get me wrong, I'm not looking at you, I'm looking at you. That, in my opinion, comes from unconsciously because we have been subjected. I have been, still I am, so that's why I feel.
Personally, I have to say,
Cheese bread.
okay, let me just say, personally, I think it's pretty wonderful that you guys are all sitting around to have this conversation, and it's really important. I'm also impressed because I think that you guys are pretty much the most open-minded bunch of Iranians I've seen together.
You're surprised.
So, that's true. I live in San Francisco. I'm Torontonian. I lived in Toronto for over 20 years. I left Iran when I was 11. So if you can imagine, I come from where I was a child in Iran, where like, you know, words such as these were really kind of forbidden for me to use. So there's all of these things at once. But the other point that I really want to bring up again, and I said it earlier, is that the decision to exclude these was not because particularly of their kind of the content that's like a rude word or a profane word or a swear word, but it was because there were subjects like religion and sex and whatnot that I did not want to infuse this exhibition and the other artists' works in. I wanted the exhibition to be about geography, where we are, land, traveling, language, but not in particular these other elements. And there was, if I had an exhibition on such subject, then I would find other amazing artists making exceptional work that may even be more critical than this, and I would put them all together, and maybe that's what we would do for Tirgan next year. But to kind of have this one thing on the wall that's outside of everything else didn't feel right.
Okay.
Sorry,
So-
don't you think this is part of our culture?
Yeah.
Don't you think that?
It is.
No, this is part of culture, language.
Right.
It expresses the culture. This is culture.
Right. But there are 6 artists in the exhibition, and all their works relate to them. And this is a tangent. It's an important tangent. But it's a tangent that
But it's interesting that Sona, as you were speaking, and I hate to, I love you dearly. I respect your work, but I hate to put you on the spot, but I really want us to go back to our conversation that I showed you the work and we made an agreement. Your decision to take this out was, and I quote your email to me, saying, I had a conversation with my family who knows Tirgan Fest organizers really well, and I understood that I was naive when I spoke with you and agreed to include these pieces. So we need to reconsider what pieces we include. That is after the conversation that you had with your family, and it was a revision in your original decision. The original list of work, it was a revision in the original list of work that yes it is. Yes,
Actually,
please, people can go, I have not documented this on my website, but you can go to the website and read it. Secondly, it's really interesting that as you're speaking, you're calling it profane words. Why are these words profane? Why are these words profanity?
It's a culturalist.
And why is it profanity?
And even though I used to teach in daycares for a long time,
Yes.
even in Canada, the teachers are not allowed to say choo 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 whatever, like made up name for piece of puss or key.
Right.
Even here, never mind very conservative culture of ours. The teachers are not allowed name or made up names.
Made up names, but they can say penis.
They have to, and even for Canadian teachers, it's hard.
Penis and penis. They're allowed to say penis, but they're not allowed to say penis.
Like what?
We don't demonstrate
Oh gosh.
we are
So
demonstrating as
it has
culture.
religious context.
Totally.
Okay.
Right. And why?
It's our language, it's not our culture.
Language is not our culture. Our language is not our culture.
No,
Very
in
common
every
part of the
language you can find these words, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but it's not part of their culture.
Why is it not part of our culture?
Okay,
If
now
I want to say,
it's
if I want to say
so,
here, how would I say
okay.
it?
I want to see from the other aspect. Is it our culture? No.
What is our? Why
No,
is
it
it
is our
not?
culture now. If you want to
I don't
show
know
to
how to
everybody,
respond to you.
If
But
you want
what
to-
is depends? What do you call culture?
if you want to show to everybody our culture, is it our culture?
It is a part of.
Yeah, it's part of, but how much percent?
This is a.
It doesn't matter. She is working with the calligraphy or outfit and our culture. It's different. It's not about the subject matter, the organ. It's not about the organ. Actually, you hit the spot because otherwise we wouldn't have this conversation.
This conversation.
I really appreciate it.
The fact that you are reacting to it in it says
I'm doing my MFA in the United States. It's perfect. It's beautiful.
It's working. Everyone is talking about it.
Okay.
It's not. And,
Yeah.
and another thing, well, I don't see anything it's related to us.
Yes,
Well, just,
but think about it. This is a book, right? You're looking at it individually. These belong. That's why it's censorship, because they belong to the book. And as you start the book, reading the book from the beginning to the end, you come here
And the book
and
is
you're
about-
arriving at the book as you take your interpretation. I don't want to interpret it for you. But this is in the context of this book. In the context of the book, that is also has these other pieces, Abazi Kodati, right? Or it has these other pieces, Bekod Nakon, Begunagu, right? There are all these other pieces. This is in that context. Do you think that as an Iranian who may or may not believe in God, do I have the right to say what I believe in? Do I have the right?
That's not my question, but what I'm saying, as you said, we are talking about Persian culture.
But don't you go to any home, every home in Iran, a lot of homes, and don't you find this kind of la ilaha illallah written on the walls in some kind of like carpets, you know, they're in frames, they're put on the wall, people wear them on bandanas, you know, it's everywhere. Why is it not part of our
We have Jewish, we have Christian, we have Baha'i.
Isn't it part of our culture?
I think the answer is yes.
You know, you go to every home and you find it in some form. And so if this is something that is there, I have, as someone whose work is about my culture, is about her culture and her language, I should be able to work with it, right? If you make it, otherwise I shouldn't be able to take any part of the language.
They just told me to take the
Not allowed to be other parts of the language.
Really? Okay.